CLEP Principles of Management Strategic Planning. Question 1. Each side gives up part of what it wants to reach a settlement at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, collaboration. Option B, avoidance. Option C, accommodation. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option D, compromise. Compromise fits because compromise resolves conflict through mutual concessions. Collaboration is different because it seeks a fuller win-win solution, avoidance is different because it sidesteps the issue, and accommodation is different because it yields to the other side. Question 2. During a management case, a company creates separate units for consumer products, business products, and services during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, functional structure. Option B, simple structure. Option C, staff authority. Option D, divisional structure. The correct answer is option D, divisional structure. Divisional structure fits because a divisional structure groups work around products, customers, or regions. Functional structure is different because it groups by specialized activities, simple structure is different because it has little formalization and few departments, and staff authority is different because it gives advice rather than a full divisional design. Question 3. How should a manager classify a situation where a neutral selection test disproportionately screens out a protected group without job-related justification during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, management by objectives. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, adverse impact. The correct answer is option D, adverse impact. Adverse impact fits because adverse impact occurs when an employment practice has an unfair discriminatory effect. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivators to work, management by objectives is different because it sets agreed measurable goals, and horizontal communication is different because it occurs among peers. Question 4. When employees move among different positions to learn broader skills during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, job rotation. Option B, job enlargement. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, specialization. The correct answer is option A, job rotation. Job rotation fits because job rotation shifts employees through different jobs to build variety and experience. Job enlargement is different because it adds similar tasks to one job. Job enrichment is different because it increases responsibility and meaning, and specialization is different because it narrows work into specific tasks. Question 5. After a new customer segment appears in the market during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, weakness. Option B, opportunity. Option C, strength. Option D, policy. The correct answer is option B, opportunity. Opportunity fits because an opportunity is an external condition the organization can use to improve results. Weakness is different because it is inside the organization, strength is different because it is an internal advantage, and policy is different because it is a general decision guideline. Question 6. If employees share unwritten values about how work should be done inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, organization chart. Option B, budget. Option C, organizational culture. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option C, organizational culture. Organizational culture fits because organizational culture is the shared values, beliefs, and assumptions of members. Organization chart is different because it shows formal structure, budget is different because it allocates money, and job specification is different because it lists required qualifications. Question 7. To analyze a case where frontline workers are allowed to make service decisions without waiting for approval inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit, which term should be selected? Option A, centralization. Option B, job analysis. Option C, empowerment. Option D, filtering. The correct answer is option C, empowerment. Empowerment fits because empowerment gives employees authority, information, and responsibility to act. Centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels. Job analysis is different because it studies duties and requirements, and filtering is different because it distorts communication. Question 8. For an exam item where a firm discovers its outdated software is hurting productivity in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, strength. Option B, weakness. Option C, opportunity. Option D, threat. The correct answer is option B, weakness. Weakness fits because a weakness is an internal limitation that can reduce performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it comes from a favorable external condition, and threat is different because it comes from an unfavorable external condition. Question 9. In a workplace example where a manager chooses a satisfactory solution because time and information are limited at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is tested? Option A, perfect rationality. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, bounded rationality. Option D, management by exception. The correct answer is option C, bounded rationality. Bounded rationality fits because bounded rationality recognizes that managers cannot always make perfectly rational decisions. Perfect rationality is different because it assumes complete information and unlimited analysis. Brainstorming is different because it generates many ideas, and management by exception is different because it focuses attention on major deviations. Question 10. Before choosing an answer about an employee receives performance input from supervisors, peers, subordinates, and sometimes customers in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, self-managed team. Option B, 360-degree feedback. Option C, job specification. Option D, budget control. The correct answer is option B, 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback fits because 360-degree feedback gathers appraisal information from multiple sources around the employee. Self-managed team is different because it gives a team control over work. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications, and budget control is different because it compares financial results with a budget. Question 11. One manager notices that a company considers how its decisions affect employees, customers, communities, and the environment at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, scientific management. Option B, span of control. Option C, selection. Option D, corporate social responsibility. The correct answer is option D, corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility fits because corporate social responsibility considers business obligations to stakeholders and society. Scientific management is different because it studies efficient task methods. Span of control is different because it counts direct reports, and selection is different because it chooses applicants. Question 12. Could a case where a team ignores warning signs because members want agreement more than realistic evaluation during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit best point to which concept? Option A, groupthink. Option B, constructive conflict. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option A, groupthink. Groupthink fits because groupthink occurs when pressure for harmony weakens critical thinking. Constructive conflict is different because it encourages useful disagreement. Benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices, and equity theory is different because it focuses on perceived fairness. Question 13. Why would a scenario where a company changes its processes to comply with new workplace safety rules during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit most likely test which idea? Option A, grapevine. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, government regulation. Option D, power distance. The correct answer is option C, government regulation. Government regulation fits because government regulation sets legal requirements that organizations must follow. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility, and power distance is different because it is a cultural value dimension. Question 14. Where does a team member keeps discussion focused on goals, facts, and deadlines during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, task role. Option B, maintenance role. Option C, blocking role. Option D, informal authority. The correct answer is option A, task role. Task role fits because task roles help the group accomplish its work. Maintenance role is different because it supports relationships and morale. Blocking role is different because it disrupts group progress, and informal authority is different because it comes from influence rather than position. Question 15. Should a student connect a manager refuses to hide safety information even though disclosure may reduce profit during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit with which management concept? Option A, business ethics. Option B, efficiency. Option C, recruitment. Option D, matrix structure. The correct answer is option A, business ethics. Business ethics fits because business ethics concerns moral standards such as honesty, fairness, and responsibility. Efficiency is different because it concerns resource use. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting. Question 16. Which concept is shown when managers use organized data reports to support planning and control inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, labor union. Option B, management information system. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, autocratic leadership. The correct answer is option B, management information system. Management information system fits because MIS provides useful information for managerial decision-making. Labor union is different because it represents workers, job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation, and autocratic leadership is different because it centralizes decisions. Question 17. A high potential employee is prepared for future leadership roles inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, training. Option B, development. Option C, selection. Option D, job description. The correct answer is option B, development. Development fits because development builds long-term capabilities for future responsibilities. Training is different because it focuses more on current job skills. Selection is different because it chooses candidates, and job description is different because it lists current duties. Question 18. During a management case, a leader recognizes frustration in a team and responds calmly in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, technical skill. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, emotional intelligence. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option C, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence fits because emotional intelligence involves understanding and managing emotions in oneself and others. Technical skill is different because it concerns specialized job knowledge. Benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leaders, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 19. How should a manager classify a situation where executives choose broad long-term goals for the whole organization at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, operational planning. Option B, strategic planning. Option C, work scheduling. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option B, strategic planning. Strategic planning fits because strategic planning sets organization-wide direction over a longer time horizon. Operational planning is different because it focuses on short-term day-to-day activities. Work scheduling is different because it assigns timing to tasks, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employee results. Question 20. When workers plan, schedule, monitor, and control much of their own work in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, traditional team. Option B, virtual organization. Option C, self-managed team. Option D, quality circle. The correct answer is option C, self-managed team. Self-managed team fits because self-managed teams have authority over many administrative and work process decisions. Traditional team is different because it relies more on a supervisor for direction. Virtual organization is different because it uses networks and technology across locations, and quality circle is different because it usually recommends improvements rather than manages all work. Question 21. After managers study broad principles such as unity of command and division of work at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, administrative management. Option B, scientific management. Option C, quantitative management. Option D, e-business. The correct answer is option A, administrative management. Administrative management fits because administrative management focuses on general principles for managing organizations. Scientific management is different because it focuses more on individual task efficiency. Quantitative management is different because it applies mathematical models, and e-business is different because it uses digital technology for business processes. Question 22. If a manager defines a problem, lists alternatives, evaluates them, and selects a solution during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, rational decision-making model. Option B, grapevine. Option C, equity theory. Option D, laissez-faire leadership. The correct answer is option A, rational decision-making model. Rational decision-making model fits because the rational model uses a logical sequence to choose among alternatives. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Equity theory is different because it explains motivation through fairness, and laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers broad freedom. Question 23. To analyze a case where a company identifies a patented process it owns as an advantage during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit, which term should be selected? Option A, strength. Option B, threat. Option C, opportunity. Option D, weakness. The correct answer is option A, Strength. Strength fits because a strength is an internal positive capability or resource. Threat is different because it is an external danger, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and weakness is different because it is an internal limitation. Question 24. For an exam item where branch managers are allowed to solve local customer problems without headquarters approval during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, centralization. Option B, bureaucracy. Option C, decentralization. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option C, decentralization. Decentralization fits because decentralization gives lower levels more authority to make decisions. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at the top, bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 25. In a workplace example where a team includes employees with different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is tested? Option A, workforce diversity. Option B, uniformity. Option C, centralization. Option D, budget variance. The correct answer is option A, workforce diversity. Workforce diversity fits because workforce diversity refers to differences among employees that can affect work and decisions. Uniformity is different because it means sameness rather than difference. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at higher levels, and budget variance is different because it compares financial actuals with planned amounts. Question 26. Before choosing an answer about a team, writes a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit. Which concept should stand out? Option A, vision statement. Option B, SMART goal. Option C, grapevine. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option B, SMART goal. SMART goal fits because SMART goals are clear enough to guide action and evaluate results. Vision statement is different because it describes a desired future rather than a measurable target. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and bureaucracy is different because it is a formal rule-based structure. Question 27. One manager notices that managers track economic, legal, technological, and social forces outside the firm inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, internal strength. Option B, external environment. Option C, job description. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option B, external environment. External environment fits because the external environment includes outside forces that affect organizational decisions. Internal strength is different because it is a capability inside the firm. Job description is different because it lists a position's duties, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 28. Could a case where a manager must explain why a project missed its target in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit best point to which concept? Option A, authority. Option B, delegation. Option C, accountability. Option D, recruitment. The correct answer is option C, accountability. Accountability fits because accountability means being answerable for results. Authority is different because it is decision-making power. Delegation is different because it transfers work and authority to another person, and recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants. Question 29. Why would a scenario where a production manager directly supervises employees who make the company's product at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit most likely test which idea? Option A, line authority. Option B, staff authority. Option C, informal authority. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option A, line authority. Line authority fits because line authority is direct authority over core work activities. Staff authority is different because it provides advice and support. Informal authority is different because it comes from relationships rather than formal position, and mediation is different because it helps parties settle a dispute. Question 30. Where does a manager postpones addressing a conflict and hopes it disappears in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, forcing. Option B, avoidance. Option C, collaboration. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option B, avoidance. Avoidance fits because avoidance delays or withdraws from conflict rather than solving it directly. Forcing is different because it uses authority to impose a solution. Collaboration is different because it openly works through both sides' concerns, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral facilitator. Question 31. Should a student connect leaders explain the organization's basic purpose and reason for existing at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit with which management concept? Option A, mission statement. Option B, procedure. Option C, variance report. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option A, mission statement. Mission statement fits because a mission statement states what the organization does and why it exists. Procedure is different because it gives step-by-step instructions. Variance report is different because it compares actual results with standards, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications for a job. Question 32. Which concept is shown when a supervisor motivates employees and guides them toward a shared goal during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, leading. Option B, planning. Option C, organizing. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option A, leading. Leading fits because leading focuses on influencing, motivating, and directing people. Planning is different because it is about setting direction before action. Organizing is different because it designs responsibilities and relationships, and controlling is different because it compares results with standards. Question 33. A manager assigns a task and grants enough authority to complete it during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, centralization. Option B, delegation. Option C, job rotation. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option B, delegation. Delegation fits because delegation transfers responsibility for work along with the authority needed to do it. Centralization is different because it keeps authority near the top. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and arbitration is different because it uses a third party to make a binding dispute decision. Question 34. During a management case, managers review customer satisfaction results after service has been delivered during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, feed-forward control. Option B, concurrent control. Option C, feedback control. Option D, recruitment. The correct answer is option C, feedback control. Feedback control fits because feedback control uses completed results to improve future performance. Feed-forward control is different because it checks inputs before action. Concurrent control is different because it monitors work as it happens, and recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants. Question 35. How should a manager classify a situation where an organization relies on written rules, hierarchy, specialization, and formal procedures during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, adhocracy. Option B, grapevine. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option D, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy fits because bureaucracy is a formal structure built around rules, hierarchy, and defined roles. Adhocracy is different because it is flexible and innovation-oriented. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation. Question 36. When employees share unofficial information before management makes a formal announcement inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, organization chart. Option B, policy manual. Option C, budget report. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option D, grapevine. Grapevine fits because the grapevine is the informal communication network inside an organization. Organization chart is different because it is a formal structure diagram. Policy manual is different because it gives official guidance, and budget report is different because it gives financial control information. Question 37. After a department head groups jobs, assigns authority, and allocates resources inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, planning. Option B, leading. Option C, controlling. Option D, organizing. The correct answer is option D, organizing. Organizing fits because organizing creates the structure needed to carry out a plan. Planning is different because it chooses goals before the structure is built. Leading is different because it motivates people rather than designs jobs, and controlling is different because it checks performance after standards exist. Question 38. If frontline supervisors plan specific daily activities and work routines in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, organization development. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, operational planning. The correct answer is option D, operational planning. Operational planning fits because operational planning deals with short-range tasks, procedures, and schedules. Strategic planning is different because it covers broad long-term direction. Organization development is different because it focuses on planned organizational change, and benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leading performers. Question 39. To analyze a case where managers skim political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal forces at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit, which terms should be selected? Option A, Pastel analysis. Option B, SWOT analysis. Option C, job analysis. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option A, Pastel analysis. Pastel analysis fits because Pastel helps managers analyze major external environmental forces. SWOT analysis is different because it combines internal and external strategic factors. Job analysis is different because it studies duties and requirements, and equity theory is different because it studies fairness perceptions. Question 40. For an exam item where leaders explain why old habits must change before introducing a new system in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, refreezing. Option B, controlling. Option C, unfreezing. Option D, recruiting. The correct answer is option C, unfreezing. Unfreezing fits because unfreezing prepares people to let go of current behaviors and accept change. Refreezing is different because it stabilizes the new behavior, controlling is different because it measures performance against standards, and recruiting is different because it attracts applicants. Question 41. In a workplace example where a new competitor enters the market with lower prices at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is tested? Option A, threat. Option B, strength. Option C, opportunity. Option D, procedure. The correct answer is option A, threat. Threat fits because a threat is an external condition that can harm performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and procedure is different because it is a sequence of steps. Question 42. Before choosing an answer about an organization receives inputs from the environment and returns outputs to it during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, closed system. Option B, job description. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, open system. The correct answer is option D, open system. Open system fits because an open system interacts with its external environment. Closed system is different because it is treated as isolated from the environment. Job description is different because it lists duties, and transactional leadership is different because it uses rewards and exchanges. Question 43. One manager notices that an HR specialist advises managers about hiring rules without running their departments during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, line authority. Option B, centralization. Option C, staff authority. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option C, staff authority. Staff authority fits because staff authority supports line managers with specialized advice. Line authority is different because it directly commands core work. Centralization is different because it concerns where decisions are made, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work in progress. Question 44. Could a case where a manager chooses a leadership style based on the team's skill and the situation during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit best point to which concept? Option A, one best way approach. Option B, equity theory. Option C, centralization. Option D, contingency theory. The correct answer is option D, contingency theory. Contingency theory fits because contingency theory says effective management depends on situational factors. One best way approach is different because it assumes one method works everywhere. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions, and centralization is different because it concerns where authority is held. Question 45. Why would a scenario where a leader rewards employees for meeting agreed performance targets during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit most likely test which idea? Option A, transformational leadership. Option B, servant leadership. Option C, situational leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option D, transactional leadership. Transactional leadership fits because transactional leadership uses exchanges, rewards, and corrective actions. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires commitment to change. Servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers, and situational leadership is different because it adapts style to readiness. Question 46. Where does a leader ask employees for input before making an important decision inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, democratic leadership. The correct answer is option D, democratic leadership. Democratic leadership fits because democratic leadership involves participation and shared input. Autocratic leadership is different because it relies on leader-centered decision-making. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it provides minimal direction, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes exchanges of rewards for performance. Question 47. Should a student connect consultants help improve culture, teamwork, and readiness for change inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit with which management concept? Option A, organization development. Option B, scientific management. Option C, recruitment. Option D, budget variance analysis. The correct answer is option A, organization development. Organization development fits because organization development uses planned interventions to improve organizational effectiveness. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and budget variance analysis is different because it compares planned and actual financial results. Question 48. Which concept is shown when a supervisor is responsible for 12 direct reports in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, chain of command. Option B, span of control. Option C, unity of direction. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option B, span of control. Span of control fits because span of control is the number of employees reporting directly to a manager. Chain of command is different because it shows reporting lines rather than number of reports. Unity of direction is different because it aligns activities under one plan, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Question 49. A supervisor paraphrases an employee's concern before responding at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, filtering. Option B, active listening. Option C, noise. Option D, downward control. The correct answer is option B, active listening. Active listening fits because active listening checks understanding and shows attention to the speaker. Filtering is different because it distorts information before it reaches the receiver. Noise is different because it interferes with communication, and downward control is different because it is not a standard communication concept. Question 50. During a management case, a company prepares a backup response in case a supplier fails in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, standing role. Option B, job analysis. Option C, downward communication. Option D, contingency plan. The correct answer is option D, contingency plan. Contingency plan fits because a contingency plan prepares for possible future events or disruptions. Standing role is different because it gives a continuing command for repeated behavior. Job analysis is different because it studies tasks and requirements, and downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Question 51. How should a manager classify a situation where a diagram shows formal positions and reporting relationships at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, balance sheet. Option B, SWOT table. Option C, training plan. Option D, organization chart. The correct answer is option D, organization chart. Organization chart fits because an organization chart visually displays formal authority and reporting lines. Balance sheet is different because it reports financial position. SWOT table is different because it summarizes strategic factors, and training plan is different because it develops employee skills. Question 52. When employees in one culture expect strong hierarchy and unequal authority during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, individualism. Option B, uncertainty avoidance. Option C, power distance. Option D, benchmarking. The correct answer is option C, power distance. Power distance fits because power distance describes how much a culture accepts unequal power distribution. Individualism is different because it concerns focus on self versus group. Uncertainty avoidance is different because it concerns comfort with ambiguity, and benchmarking is different because it compares best practices. Question 53. After experts give anonymous opinions through several rounds of questionnaires during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, town hall meeting. Option B, functional structure. Option C, Delphi technique. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option C, Delphi technique. Delphi technique fits because the Delphi technique gathers expert judgment while reducing direct social pressure. Town hall meeting is different because it is open discussion rather than anonymous expert rounds. Functional structure is different because it groups similar activities, and concurrent control is different because it monitors current work. Question 54. If managers set expected revenues and spending limits for a department during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, organization chart. Option B, job description. Option C, budget. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option C, budget. Budget fits because a budget is a financial plan that helps allocate and control resources. Organization chart is different because it shows formal reporting relationships. Job description is different because it lists position duties, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 55. To analyze a case where a manager compares actual performance with standards and corrects a gap during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit, which term should be selected? Option A, planning. Option B, organizing. Option C, controlling. Option D, leading. The correct answer is option C, controlling. Controlling fits because controlling measures results, compares them with standards and triggers corrective action. Planning is different because it sets goals but does not measure completed results. Organizing is different because it assigns work and authority, and leading is different because it motivates people rather than evaluates variances. Question 56. For an exam item where a theorist emphasizes hierarchy, formal rules, and impersonal treatment inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, bureaucratic management. Option B, human relations management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, JIT inventory. The correct answer is option A, bureaucratic management. Bureaucratic management fits because bureaucratic management explains organizations through formal authority, rules, and specialization. Human relations management is different because it emphasizes social and psychological factors. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires change through vision, and JIT inventory is different because it reduces inventory holding. Question 57. In a workplace example where employees are grouped into departments such as finance, marketing, and operations inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is tested? Option A, divisional structure. Option B, matrix structure. Option C, virtual team. Option D, functional structure. The correct answer is option D, functional structure. Functional structure fits because a functional structure groups people by similar skills or activities. Divisional structure is different because it groups by product, customer, or geography. Matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines, and virtual team is different because it works across distance through technology. Question 58. Before choosing an answer about a leader changes direction and support based on follower readiness in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, situational leadership. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, bureaucratic management. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option A, situational leadership. Situational leadership fits because situational leadership adapts leader behavior to the maturity or readiness of followers. Autocratic leadership is different because it consistently centers decisions on the leader. Bureaucratic management is different because it emphasizes formal rules, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns jobs for motivation. Question 59. One manager notices that an employee accepts the duty to complete an assigned task at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, authority. Option B, accountability. Option C, responsibility. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option C, responsibility. Responsibility fits because responsibility is the obligation to perform assigned work. Authority is different because it is the right to direct work. Accountability is different because it is answerability for outcomes, and centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels. Question 60. Could a case where leaders describe what the organization wants to become in the future in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit best point to which concept? Option A, role. Option B, job description. Option C, vision statement. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option C, vision statement. Vision statement fits because a vision statement expresses an inspiring future state. Role is different because it states a specific required or prohibited behavior. Job description is different because it lists duties of a position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work while it is happening. Question 61. Why would a scenario where union representatives and management negotiate wages, hours, and working conditions at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit most likely test which idea? Option A, mediation. Option B, recruitment. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option C, collective bargaining. Collective bargaining fits because collective bargaining is the negotiation process between labor and management. Mediation is different because it uses a neutral helper in a dispute. Recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 62. Where does a team member reduces tension and encourages quieter members to participate during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, task role. Option B, program decision. Option C, line authority. Option D, maintenance role. The correct answer is option D, maintenance role. Maintenance role fits because maintenance roles support group relationships and cohesion. Task role is different because it focuses directly on completing the work. Program decision is different because it handles routine problems, and line authority is different because it commands core work activities. Question 63. Should a student connect a routine refund request is handled with an established policy during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit with which management concept? Option A, program decision. Option B, non-program decision. Option C, strategic alliance. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option A, program decision. Program decision fits because program decisions use rules or procedures for recurring problems. Non-program decision is different because it addresses new and unusual situations. Strategic alliance is different because it is cooperation between firms, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work. Question 64. Which concept is shown when middle managers convert broad goals into departmental actions during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, tactical planning. Option C, orientation. Option D, collective bargaining. The correct answer is option B, tactical planning. Tactical planning fits because tactical planning translates strategy into plans for units or departments. Strategic planning is different because it is broader and handled mainly by top management. Orientation is different because it introduces new employees to the organization, and collective bargaining is different because it is negotiation between labor and management. Question 65. A manager studies how changes in one department affect suppliers, employees, and customers during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, systems theory. Option B, scientific management. Option C, job specification. Option D, downward communication. The correct answer is option A, systems theory. Systems theory fits because systems theory views the organization as interdependent parts within a larger environment. Scientific management is different because it focuses on efficient task design. Job specification is different because it lists worker qualifications, and downward communication is different because it describes message direction. Question 66. During a management case, a manager sends instructions and performance expectations to employees inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, upward communication. Option B, horizontal communication. Option C, downward communication. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option C, downward communication. Downward communication fits because downward communication flows from higher levels to lower levels. Upward communication is different because it moves from employees to managers. Horizontal communication is different because it moves among peers, and grapevine is different because it is informal and unofficial. Question 67. How should a manager classify a situation where frontline employees send suggestions and problems to senior managers inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, downward communication. Option B, horizontal communication. Option C, external communication. Option D, upward communication. The correct answer is option D, upward communication. Upward communication fits because upward communication flows from lower levels to higher levels. Downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Horizontal communication is different because it flows across peers, and external communication is different because it crosses organizational boundaries. Question 68. When HR builds a pool of applicants for an open position in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, recruitment. Option B, selection. Option C, orientation. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option A, recruitment. Recruitment fits because recruitment attracts qualified candidates to apply. Selection is different because it chooses among applicants. Orientation is different because it introduces hired employees, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates work results. Question 69. After HR studies the tasks, duties, and requirements of a position at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, recruitment. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option D, job analysis. Job analysis fits because job analysis collects information about what a job involves and what worker qualities it requires. Job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 70. If employees worry a new system will reduce their status or job security in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, empowerment. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, resistance to change. Option D, orientation. The correct answer is option C, resistance to change. Resistance to change fits because resistance to change often comes from fear, uncertainty, or perceived loss. Empowerment is different because it gives people more discretion, benchmarking is different because it compares against best practices, and orientation is different because it introduces employees to the organization. Question 71. To analyze a case where team members write ideas silently, discuss them, and rank the options at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit, which term should be selected? Option A, brainstorming. Option B, grapevine. Option C, job analysis. Option D, nominal group technique. The correct answer is option D, nominal group technique. Nominal group technique fits because the nominal group technique reduces dominance by collecting individual ideas before voting. Brainstorming is different because it usually encourages open idea generation, grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job analysis is different because it studies work duties. Question 72. For an exam item where posting lists required education, skills, and experience for the role during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, job description. Option B, procedure. Option C, span of control. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option D, job specification. Job specification fits because a job specification identifies qualifications a worker needs for the job. Job description is different because it lists duties performed, procedure is different because it gives steps for a task, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 73. In a workplace example where employees can trace who reports to whom from supervisor to executive during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is tested? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, chain of command. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option B, chain of command. Chain of command fits because the chain of command shows the formal line of authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to work. Benchmarking is different because it compares performance with best practices, and equity theory is different because it concerns perceived fairness. Question 74. Before choosing an answer about work is studied to find the most efficient way to perform each task during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, scientific management. Option B, human relations approach. Option C, contingency theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option A, scientific management. Scientific management fits because scientific management emphasizes task analysis, standard methods, and efficiency. Human relations approach is different because it emphasizes social needs and worker attitudes. Contingency theory is different because it argues management depends on the situation, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes hierarchy and rules. Question 75. One manager notices that a manager uses formal authority to impose a conflict decision quickly during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, forcing. Option B, accommodation. Option C, collaboration. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option A, forcing. Forcing fits because forcing is a win-lose style that relies on power or authority. Accommodation is different because it gives in to preserve harmony. Collaboration is different because it seeks mutual gains, and compromise is different because it splits concessions between sides. Question 76. Could a case where a neutral third party helps disputing employees reach their own agreement inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit best point to which concept? Option A, arbitration. Option B, mediation. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, groupthink. The correct answer is option B, mediation. Mediation fits because mediation guides the process without imposing a binding decision. Arbitration is different because it usually gives the third-party decision power. Collective bargaining is different because it is labor management negotiation, and groupthink is different because it is pressure toward agreement. Question 77. Why would a scenario where employees in marketing and operations coordinate work at the same level inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit most likely test which idea? Option A, downward communication. Option B, upward communication. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, chain of command. The correct answer is option C, horizontal communication. Horizontal communication fits because horizontal communication occurs among people or units at similar levels. Downward communication is different because it flows down the hierarchy, upward communication is different because it flows up the hierarchy, and chain of command is different because it shows formal authority lines. Question 78. Where does a leader makes decisions alone and expects quick compliance in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, democratic leadership. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, servant leadership. The correct answer is option B, autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership fits because autocratic leadership centralizes authority in the leader. Democratic leadership is different because it invites participation. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers wide freedom, and servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers' needs. Question 79. Should a student connect a manager uses rewards and consequences to increase desired behavior at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit with which management concept? Option A, equity theory. Option B, goal-setting theory. Option C, matrix structure. Option D, reinforcement theory. The correct answer is option D, reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory fits because reinforcement theory explains behavior through its consequences. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions. Goal-setting theory is different because it emphasizes clear and challenging goals, and matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines. Question 80. Which concept is shown when managers recognize that social needs and group norms affect productivity in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, scientific management. Option B, human relations approach. Option C, classical bureaucracy. Option D, PERT. The correct answer is option B, human relations approach. Human relations approach fits because the human relations approach emphasizes people, morale, and social factors at work. Scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient task methods. Classical bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes formal rules and hierarchy, and PERT is different because it schedules project activities. Question 81. Executives respond to a crisis the company has never faced before at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, program decision. Option B, non-program decision. Option C, procedure. Option D, standing plan. The correct answer is option B, non-program decision. Non-program decision fits because non-program decisions are novel, complex, and not solved by routine rules. Program decision is different because it handles repeated problems, procedure is different because it gives routine steps, and standing plan is different because it guides recurring situations. Question 82. During a management case, managers compare internal strengths and weaknesses with external opportunities and threats during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, PERT analysis. Option B, performance appraisal. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option D, SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis fits because SWOT analysis organizes internal and external factors for strategic planning. PERT analysis is different because it schedules complex project activities. Performance appraisal is different because it evaluates an employee's work, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 83. How should a manager classify a situation where a neutral third party hears a dispute and makes a binding decision during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, mediation. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, job rotation. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option D, arbitration. Arbitration fits because arbitration gives the third party authority to decide the outcome. Mediation is different because it helps parties negotiate without imposing a decision. Brainstorming is different because it generates ideas, and job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs. Question 84. When a manager has the formal right to make decisions and direct work during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, responsibility. Option B, accountability. Option C, motivation. Option D, authority. The correct answer is option D, authority. Authority fits because authority is the legitimate right to command resources and give orders. Responsibility is different because it is the duty to perform assigned work. Accountability is different because it is being answerable for results, and motivation is different because it is the drive to act. Question 85. After managers estimate how much output a facility must be able to produce during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, job evaluation. Option B, mediation. Option C, capacity planning. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option C, capacity planning. Capacity planning fits because capacity planning determines the production ability needed to meet demand. Job evaluation is different because it helps determine pay value. Mediation is different because it supports dispute resolution, and grapevine is different because it is informal communication. Question 86. If a company gives managers broad guidance for handling customer refunds inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, procedure. Option B, policy. Option C, rule. Option D, vision. The correct answer is option B, policy. Policy fits because a policy is a general guideline for recurring decisions. Procedure is different because it gives exact steps to follow, rule is different because it states a specific required or prohibited action, and vision is different because it describes a desired future. Question 87. To analyze a case where two departments search for a solution that fully addresses both sides' concerns inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit, which term should be selected? Option A, avoidance. Option B, forcing. Option C, collaboration. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option C, collaboration. Collaboration fits because collaboration tries to create a win-win outcome by addressing underlying interests. Avoidance is different because it postpones or ignores the conflict. Forcing is different because it uses power to win at the other's expense, and compromise is different because it requires each side to give up something. Question 88. For an exam item where workers are told that safety goggles must be worn in the lab in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, rule. Option B, policy. Option C, strategy. Option D, empowerment. The correct answer is option A, rule. Rule fits because a rule states exactly what must or must not be done. Policy is different because it offers broad guidance rather than a specific command. Strategy is different because it sets broad direction, and empowerment is different because it gives employees more decision authority. Question 89. In a workplace example where a team generates many ideas before judging any of them at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is tested? Option A, groupthink. Option B, arbitration. Option C, budgeting. Option D, brainstorming. The correct answer is option D, brainstorming. Brainstorming fits because brainstorming separates idea generation from evaluation to encourage creativity. Groupthink is different because it pressures members toward agreement. Arbitration is different because it lets a third party decide a dispute, and budgeting is different because it plans financial resources. Question 90. Before choosing an answer about a leader inspires employees with a vision for major change in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, transactional leadership. Option B, scientific management. Option C, budgetary control. Option D, transformational leadership. The correct answer is option D, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership fits because transformational leadership motivates people through vision, meaning, and change. Transactional leadership is different because it focuses on exchanges and rewards. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, and budgetary control is different because it monitors financial results. Question 91. One manager notices that employees follow a required sequence for approving purchase orders at a university office for the Oak Ridge unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, procedure. Option B, policy. Option C, mission. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, procedure. Procedure fits because a procedure lists the steps for completing a recurring task. Policy is different because it is broader and less step-by-step. Mission is different because it states the organization's purpose, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 92. Could a case where a project display shows tasks as bars across a timeline during a product launch for the Oak Ridge unit best point to which concept? Option A, Gantt chart. Option B, organization chart. Option C, SWOT table. Option D, balance sheet. The correct answer is option A, Gantt chart. Gantt chart fits because a Gantt chart visually schedules project activities over time. Organization chart is different because it shows reporting relationships. SWOT table is different because it summarizes strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And balance sheet is different because it reports assets, liabilities, and equity. Question 93. Why would a scenario where a manager sets objectives and chooses actions before work begins during a budget review for the Oak Ridge unit most likely test which idea? Option A, organizing. Option B, leading. Option C, controlling. Option D, planning. The correct answer is option D, planning. Planning fits because planning is the function that defines goals and decides how to reach them. Organizing is different because it arranges resources after goals are set. Leading is different because it influences people to work toward goals. And controlling is different because it measures results against standards. Question 94. Where does a leader gives capable experts broad freedom and little direct supervision during a leadership workshop for the Oak Ridge unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, bureaucratic leadership. Option C, laissez-faire leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option C, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership fits because laissez-faire leadership minimizes leader control and allows follower autonomy. Autocratic leadership is different because it is directive and centralized. Bureaucratic leadership is different because it follows rules closely, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes rewards and corrections. Question 95. Should a student connect a company reinforces a new process until it becomes the normal way to work during a quality improvement meeting for the Oak Ridge unit with which management concept? Option A, unfreezing. Option B, storming. Option C, refreezing. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option C, refreezing. Refreezing fits because refreezing stabilizes a change so the new behavior lasts. Unfreezing is different because it prepares people for change. Storming is different because it is a team development stage, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 96. Which concept is shown when an engineer reports to both a functional manager and a project manager inside a sales department for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, functional structure. Option B, centralization. Option C, matrix structure. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option C, matrix structure. Matrix structure fits because a matrix structure combines functional and project authority, creating dual reporting. Functional structure is different because it usually has one functional chain. Centralization is different because it refers to where decisions are made, and job analysis is different because it studies the content of a job. Question 97. Employees learn skills needed for their current job inside an HR department for the Oak Ridge unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, development. Option B, training. Option C, recruitment. Option D, compensation. The correct answer is option B, training. Training fits because training develops abilities that improve current job performance. Development is different because it prepares employees for broader future roles. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and compensation is different because it provides pay and benefits. Question 98. During a management case, a leader focuses first on helping followers grow and succeed in a call center for the Oak Ridge unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, servant leadership. Option C, transactional leadership. Option D, scientific management. The correct answer is option B, servant leadership. Servant leadership fits because servant leadership prioritizes follower development, service, and trust. Autocratic leadership is different because it emphasizes command by the leader. Transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes performance exchanges, and scientific management is different because it emphasizes efficient work methods. Question 99. How should a manager classify a situation where major decisions must be approved by top executives at a healthcare clinic for the Oak Ridge unit? Option A, decentralization. Option B, empowerment. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option D, centralization. Centralization fits because centralization concentrates decision authority at higher levels. Decentralization is different because it pushes authority to lower levels, empowerment is different because it gives employees more discretion, and horizontal communication is different because it flows among peers. Question 100. When managers estimate future sales before setting staffing levels in a growing retail firm for the Oak Ridge unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, delegation. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, mediation. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option D, forecasting. Forecasting fits because forecasting predicts future conditions so managers can plan more intelligently. Delegation is different because it assigns responsibility and authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to a job, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral party to guide dispute resolution.